to your reading for February the 3rd through February the 9th. This is for Scorpio. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Scorpio for February the 3rd through the 9th? This is a general reading, guys. It's for the collective, so take what resonates, leave the rest. If you would like a personal reading, however, click on this link here. It'll take you to my website and you can see all the kind of readings that I offer. Okay, 3 cards for Scorpio, please. 2 more cards for Scorpio. 2 more cards for Scorpio. Oh. We are. 1 more card for Scorpio. Love that. 1 more card. Oh, lovely. Okay. Now let's go to your clarifying cards. These are clarifying cards for Scorpio. I've meditated before off screen and shuffled. This is the last shuffle for your benefit. Okay, this is for Scorpio. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Scorpio through these clarifying cards for February the 3rd through the 9th? Please clarify. Oh, there it is. Oh, very interesting. Please clarify. And please clarify. Oh, okay. Let's go back. Please clarify. There it is. 2 cards for that. Oh, that's so funny. I saw that. Okay, let's look at your cards, Scorpio. The first card up for you is the King of Wands, clarified by the 4 of Pentacles. Then you have the Moon, clarified by the Emperor. And then you have the 4 of Pentacles. Again, both something you're holding on to, guys, clarified by the 2 of Pentacles and the 5 of Cups. Okay, Scorpio, the first card out for you is the King of Wands. And the King of Wands comes in. Look, he's a brilliant leader. He's very gregarious. He's out there. He's social. He's the best kind of father, husband. He can get a little kind of carried away sometimes. So he's a brilliant leader when he is spiritually centered. So he's like the socialite, right? He loves to be entertained. He loves to be out there. And he's very charming and engaging. Now, what's interesting is you've got the 4 of Pentacles. Clarifying this. So the 4 of Pentacles is like holding on to something. It's not, I'm getting that it's holding, this can be holding on to kind of emotional baggage, right? Holding on to a resentment. It can be, what's happening by holding on to this feeling? It's stopping you from enjoying life. It's blocking you from having fun. It's blocking you from socializing because you're so kind of closed off. This is you being closed off in some way, Scorpio. You're feeling really, perhaps you've got some anger towards someone or some frustration that's stopping you from expressing yourself in the fullest way. Okay, I'm going to move on because you've got the moon, right? And we do have this full moon. So stay tuned for the astrology report right after this because it might make more sense to you as well. So it's interesting. You've got this moon, right? And you've got all these kind of animals. And it's almost like you're on two sides of the fence, right? So it's an emotional time for you. You're deeply emotional. Scorpio, but you don't necessarily show it. Your veneer is like this, and inside you're so outside you're poised, inside you're like so the moon is going to bring these emotions up for you, and you know, for a lot of us, this is a beautiful big full moon. So something may kind of come up for you. And it's probably, you know, because there are culminations and there are endings and things come to a head almost, you know, emotions are brimming and brought up, and a light is shed somewhere that you need to see. Sometimes we're feeling it now, you know, sometimes something we need to look at is brought to our attention. So clarifying the moon is the Emperor, the King of Kings. And the Emperor is all about letting go of things that no longer work for you. This is so funny, right? So you need to let go, Scorpio. Where can you let go? What is it? You know, if it is financial, can you release it? Because sometimes we're so like this, protecting our finances even, right? But I'm really getting for you, it's emotional. You know, maybe that's your wealth, right? Your riches, you're holding on to it, but you're blocking yourself from fully engaging in life because you are, you know, it's almost like, you know, protecting your vulnerability. You don't want to get hurt. And so you're like this, closed off, but in not allowing yourself to be vulnerable, then you don't really fully experience that deep, deep love and connection that you can when you are vulnerable. It's let go of that idea of always being hurt and in pain. And just let go of what's not working for you anymore. You know, let go of the behaviors, the holding on, the resentment, the anger, the frustration. Let it go. Sometimes it's minute by minute, let it go. I feel that you're going to see an area where you've been holding on to something, and I think you're really going to see how it's been blocking you. And I think it's going to be a really good exercise for you letting go. And look, you got the Four of Wands again, the Four of Pentacles, I mean, again. So it's that holding on, you know, it's like, so you know, look, it's the pentacles, right? So it's like coins, and it's like when you're holding on to something so tight, you have no freedom. You can't enjoy it, right? This I am really getting is kind of emotional, in a practical kind of way. So it could be, you know, you're in a long-term relationship. You could be resentful about the other person not pulling their weight, or, you know, not doing things right, or perhaps they've hurt your feelings and you are not open to them emotionally at the moment. You know, we all go through that. When you're in a relationship, somebody hurts you and you like close off and you're angry, and then you can't be intimate with them because you're too angry. And sometimes they don't even know what's going on, especially with Scorpios. They don't even know. They don't know what's going on. So what's clarifying this is the Two of Pentacles and the Five of Cups. Now, the Two of Pentacles, I'm always say, is like be in the moment. Focus on the moment at hand. That is enlightenment. We only have this moment. This is infinity, right? So this moment is what you have to handle on it. And this is like being really busy. This is very, you know, like juggling. It can be juggling two jobs. It can be juggling the house and a job. It can be juggling the house, the husband, and the wife, and the whatever, and a job. It's just juggling. And you're like the master juggler, right? But if you take your eye off the ball for a minute, you know, everything can, you know, fall apart. So you want to be really focused. And if you're busy with holding on to something, you're not in the moment, you're not focused, you're busy holding on to this. Your mind is on that, engaged in that kind of resentful feelings towards someone or a situation. And the Five of Cups is focusing on something that's not worked out. It's like, something that's not working for you, hasn't worked out, it's gone, right? It's known as crying over spilt milk, right? And she's not focused on the 2 cups that she has left. All she's doing is focusing on what hasn't worked out. She's holding on to what's not working. And she's focusing on what's not working instead of focusing on what's working. So look, and this full moon is all about looking for similarities, looking for the common ground. Where are we most alike? Don't look on the differences. It's so easy to focus on differences. Look at where we come together. Look at unity. Look at oneness. Let go of this emotional baggage. Let go of it. Clear the decks. That's what the Emperor's saying. Clear it. Let go of what's not working for you. Holding on to this isn't working. It's not. It's holding you back from really experiencing life with all the joys and wonders. And pain. Yes, life is full of joys, wonders, and pain. That's what it's like. Focus on the here and now. Focus on what's working, our similarities. Look at your cup as half full, not half empty. Focus on the 2 cups that you have left. Focus on what you have, not what you haven't. That's gone. You can't get it back. It's gone. That spilt milk is gone, darling. Give that the gift to Gaia. That's a beautiful gift to Gaia. That milk has gone to feed Gaia. She's feeding off that. So allow that to go and focus on what you have. What is it? What's our similarities? What's unique? What's oneness? What have we got in common? Look at all the attributes, not the deficits, and focus on that. And that's what will grow. And that will give you a much happier life. It's much nicer to focus on your glass as half full than half empty. It gives you a gratitude. It makes you happier, right? Really, kind of basic happiness. It's lovely. Scorpio, thank you so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and if you haven't already, subscribe, and stay tuned for the astrology report coming up next. Mwah! I love you all, and I'll see you on the other side. Hello, I'm really glad you stayed to listen to the astrology report and to see what's happening in the celestial sky this week, and what a celestial sky we have. Now, on Monday, February the 3rd, Mercury moves into Pisces. Now, Mercury is the planet of communication, intellect, logic, details, right? Facts. And Pisces is quite the opposite to that. Pisces is like creative and dreamy and romantic and poetic. So Mercury in Pisces is thought to be in detriment, and that means at its weakest power. But what Mercury in Pisces does is it gives insight. So the conversations are more pleasant, and it gives insight into somebody's mood, and you can avoid confrontation, and you can have pleasantries, pleasant conversations, sweet, romantic, almost poetic in nature. So it's a wonderful way of communicating and of seeing into somebody's mood and being able to direct a conversation or ideas around that. And it's kind of visionary too, because you can have brilliant ideas on these daydreams. The thing is it's really, it is not detail oriented. So when Mercury is in Pisces, for me, I can go off on tangents, and I put little alarms on my phone to bring me back into the moment, particularly when I need to take care of things, because you can kind of get lost on social media, lose track of time. It's that kind of energy. Now we move on to Friday, February the 7th, and Venus moves into Aries. Now Venus has been in Pisces, where it's exalted, where it's the strongest, it can express itself. She can express herself fully, Venus can, right? And think of her in Pisces in this long, flowing chiffon, willowy, romantic gown, right? Blowing in the wind. And then she moves into Aries, and suddenly she's in a rubber red dress and garter belt and stockings, and perhaps a whip in her hand. High heels. She's very, aggressive, assertive. She goes after what she wants, and she gets it. Venus in Aries is the initiator. So some of her a male energy comes out, and she goes after what she wants. So it's very kind of, think of Mars. It's very kind of sexual, sensual energy. And then on Sunday, February the 8th or 9th, right, depending on where you are, you're going to see this beautiful full moon on the 8th, and it is going to peak at 2:33 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's going to be in the morning, in Europe, and it's going to be earlier, late in the evening in California, on the Pacific Standard Time. So this is a full moon in Leo. Now, full moons are when the moon and the sun are opposite each other, right? So this is, think of, this is about courage. It's about being heart-centered. It's interesting, right? Because the sun is in Aquarius and the moon is in Leo. And at the same time as this beautiful full moon at 20 degrees Leo, it's also right next to a fixed star, which is very kind of Mars-like, and it is trining, the moon is trining Mars. So this brings passion, vigor, energy, sensuality, chemistry. It is, Leo is in the house of romance, fun, excitement, and children and family too. So you get all this energy and this vigor into these relationships, but it's also about helping others, this moon. Now, I will just say that full moons are always kind of a culmination and a releasing, right? They're whatever you've kind of started, good or bad, in the new moon, then it comes to fruition in the full moon. So sometimes where this full moon lands in your chart depends on which area of life it affects. And that brings me to my Facebook group, guys. It's a private Facebook group. And every 2 weeks, we look at the new moon or the full moon, respectively, and we see where it lands in our charts, right? So I do a live feed in that private Facebook group. The link will be below. Check that out. Now, so this full moon is about helping others, right? It's being heart-centered. It's putting love into the world, and it's about helping others. It's right opposite Aquarius, the humanitarian sign, right? The sun. And the sun is illuminating the moon. That's why it's so full. So we are going to, this full moon is definitely about how can we help? What can we do for society? Where can I use my courage? How can I use my courage? How can I improve or help or contribute to society? right? Because this is all inclusive and it's heart-centered. It's love, putting love out there into the world. And that's what my Facebook group is about. We are a group of like-minded people, and it's loving, it's supportive, it's very positive, it's lovely. So ask to join. There's a couple of questions you have to ask. I do actually require that you have a profile photograph. I no longer accept people without profile photographs. And it's got to be a real account. I check out the profile, and if it doesn't look real, I won't accept. So, we're about authenticity, right? And that's what this full moon is about, authenticity. It's about being, it's about coming into oneness with everyone. So, when we do that live feed, we'll be looking at what we need to let go. Do we need to let go of friendships? Do we need to let go of relationships? Do we need to let go of jobs, of the apartments, of areas that we live? What do we need as opposed to what do we want? And this is a question we need to ask ourselves throughout 2020, going forward. We need, Saturn is playing a huge role along with Pluto and Capricorn. We still have all these planets in Capricorn, and it is about frugality, right? It's about no waste. It's about seeing, using what we need and not consuming so much. Consumerism is down. We need to grow personally. We want to expand our awareness and our consciousness into the society at large. We want to focus on our similarities as opposed to our differences. And this is a beautiful full moon in which to connect with people and how we can help others. So, guys, I really appreciate all the likes, shares, comments, and subscriptions. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And I love all the all the comments, both personal and public, are just so inspiring and touching to me. And I need that encouragement just as much as the next person. So I thank you all for that. And another way to help me is through Patreon. This is another way to support my channel and help me grow, help me put out more creative content. I think you can support me as little as $1 a month. It's not a lot for you, but it's huge for me. Imagine if everyone gave me $1. It would be amazing. My equipment is slowly becoming archaic. I could really use some help to replace that. But listen, no pressure. I post things on Patreon that I don't post anywhere else, so it might be worth checking out. Thank you above all. Thank you all for joining me and helping me grow. Mwah. I love you all, and I'll see you next week.